Hi everyone, Piet Callemeyn here. I hope you're having an awesome day. So today I'm very happy to introduce to you our Rigid Flex Design walkthrough project. So in this Altium video series, we're going to show you how to make a Rigid Flex design. But first of all, I would like to show you, of course, what the basics are on Rigid Flex design before we get started. The aim of this series is that we can come up finally with a design looking something like this, where we have a combined rigid and flex design in Altium Designer. So this looks very cool, very nice. If you have never done this before, at the end of this walkthrough series, you'll be able to do just this. So today, first of all, I would like to start with an introduction on Rigid Flex to give you a bit of the principles behind it. This will be a short video, but important stuff to have as a background before we get started in Altium Designer. So Rigid Flex, of course, as the name says, is a combination of rigid PCBs and flexible PCBs. It can be combined in different ways, but basically it's typically in applications where you have very small sizes that you're going to use one of these. Also in applications where there is motion inside your system, but you don't want to use any cables, a flex could be a solution. So why Rigid Flex? Well, first of all, it's typically used where there's interconnect challenges. Like this, you don't need to have a cable and two connectors. This is just integrated in the PCB and that's it. Miniaturization, of course, you can save space with something like this. If you go back to this picture, try doing this on the same size of a PCB, you won't be able to fit it in. Of course, with the flex, with the accordion, you're able to get it in. So that's also a reason to choose for Rigid Flex. Improved reliability, maybe to be discussed. Sometimes in dynamic applications, you need to be very sure on your flex part, but often interesting. High density, again, same story as with this camera. You can make a very dense design using Rigid Flex. And mechanical integration is much more easy, of course, if compared to systems where there's connectors and cables. Now let's start with the basics, rigid versus flex. A rigid PCB, of course, this is something that you probably all know. There's typically an FR4 rigid substrate and that's it. On the other hand, if you have a full flex PCB, that's typically a polyimide film substrate. So something like this, that looks like this. Rigid Flex is of course the combination of the two. Now there's a couple of combinations and this is an important one. That's something I was confused about in the beginning as well. So there's two options. The first is that you can have your rigid and your flex separately produced and they are then laminated together afterwards. Typically this is done using stiffeners. So what you see over here is you have a flex PCB. On one end there's an FR4 stiffener, but there's no copper traces on there. It's just to make this part of the circuit more rigid. Same thing over here, but much smaller. There's a polyimide stiffener on that end. That is typically used, for instance, in flat cables. So this is one option. A second option is a composite option where the rigid and the flex are combined during production. And what you'll then see is that they are laminated together, but you also see the vias are connected, so everything is connected together. So rather than talking about a stiffener as we had over here, there's an actual connection between that rigid and the flex part. And this is of course the most interesting part, let's say. On the other hand, you should never forget that this can also be an option for you if you're able to squeeze down the complexity of your PCB and make it a very simple PCB. So on this PCB, for instance, on this flex, you are able to solder your components just like you would on a standard rigid substrate. There's a stiffener to make it a bit more rigid in that part, but this is also Rigid Flex, but this will be much more low cost than a solution like this. That's an important one to keep in mind. Then of course, the second option is much more expensive. If you have a combination of both and there's vias, there's blind vias, there's buried vias inside, of course, logically, this will be much more expensive. But of course, in some cases, that's the only way you can work with. Now, what are typical use cases? As we said in the beginning, high density design. If you look at the camera, this is of course a clear image or where you would need high density design. Low weight, typically used in space. Rigid Flex, basically the origin was in space applications and then it went on in standard and commercial applications. And also miniaturization, this is the inside of the Aura ring. Look at this PCB, this is of course a very small PCB and you need a Rigid Flex substrate for that. Now if we go to the basics, let's look at the Stackups over here. This is basically a standard rigid part where there's a top layer and a bottom layer. That's a rigid part with an FR4 core substrate over here. And then the second part that you would have in there is a flex part. Now we have a flexible solder mask on here. Here you have your conductivity, and then here is your polyimide substrate. So this is a flex. We can combine these two and then it looks like this. So we have the rigid part, flex part comes next to it like that. So that's an option for one stack up. Now maybe let's look at a couple more layers. So if you have a 4-layer system or a 4-layer substrate, this is the rigid substrate, the standard thing that you would know. Then the flex can again be combined with that. So that would look something like this. So flex again, the copper layer will go through, and then here you have your overlay or a coverlay, sometimes called. This is the polyimide substrate. And like this you can combine the copper, so the electrical signals will of course be combined on your rigid and your flex. Now that's on top layer. Of course there's inner layers here as well. So if you would like to make a connection on the inner layers, that's an option as well. So the rigid part looks like this. There's 2 inner layers. The flex part looks a bit different compared to what we've seen before. So there's 2 layers. Basically we're going to extend these inner layers, and that looks like this. So you have your rigid part, and the flex part will be combined with that like this. So there's 2 inner layers that you can use for routing. You can use vias on your flex as well. So in that way you have a nice combination of a 4-layer substrate and a 2-layer flex. Now important before we get started, what rigid flex is not. So important distinction that we have to make over here, it's not a flexible PCB. So sometimes you see a combination where there's an FR4 substrate and a part of the substrate is made so thin that it can be curved, let's say. So that's 2 things that you see over here. That's a low-cost option that you could go with. This is not what we're going to explore here in this series. It's also not a printed electronics board. So often you see something like this, where electronics are printed on a flex or a substrate. That's not what we're going to discuss, of course, in this series. And it's also not stretchable boards. So something like this, we're not going to discuss that. That would take us way too far. We are going to stay with the standard rigid flex as we have been discussing before. Now our program, how does it look like? First of all, the rigid flex basics and stackups, that's what we have discussed right now. In our second and next video, I will show you how to do your Altium setup, the layer stack setup for the rigid flex, how we can get started with the design like that. The video afterwards, I'm going to show you how to do a rigid flex PCB layout. There's a couple of intricacies to look into there. And then in the last part, I'm going to show you MCAD integrations, because this is a very important part where you are going to cooperate with your industrial designers. They will need to be able to fit your flexible PCB inside a housing, and more than ever with a rigid flex, of course, there's moving parts. It has to be clearly defined and looked into with the industrial designers. So in that last video, I will show you how you can have an easy MCAD integration from within Altium Designer. So again, very pleased to introduce you to this rigid flex design project. Looking forward to seeing you in our next video.